In this week's episode we are going to talk about this little black gem. My name is Robert Bronkhorst. Welcome to Round Dog Serpents. So his name is Drugger, and I regret that name a little bit, to be honest. I think it's really hard to pronounce. I'm not even sure if I pronounce it right. But where does the name come from, you ask? I know. I found it really hard to come up with names for my animals, and I wanted to name my animals, especially the ones I'm keeping, because if you name them by their genetic makeup, it sounds like they are just an asset and only an asset. And if you give them a name, it makes it feel a little bit more like a pet. And yes, I use these animals to breed and to make some money in some extent. But at the end of the day, they are animals you care for and keep for a long time, and that's basically what a pet is. So yes, they are an asset, but they are also a pet. And pets need names. Really, you don't call your dog just Doggo, or my dog, or dog number one. Why would you do so with a snake, in my opinion? So that's why I wanted to have names for all my animals, but it's hard to come up with names that aren't really human names. So what I did is I found a list with mythical creatures and got the names of those mythical creatures, sometimes changed them a little bit so they were a little bit more easy to pronounce, and Draugr was one of those names. I think originally it's the original name of the mythical creature, but it's very hard to pronounce. It doesn't mouth nice. It's not something you would say in a conversation. Draugr. It's difficult. But hey, sometimes you have to live with your difficult decisions and make it a feature and not another fault. I said he a lot of times, right? Because by now you probably figured out he is a male, and you've also probably figured out he is a ball python, Python regius. Genetically speaking, he is a cinnamon confusion EXO-LLB. I think he's EXO-LLB. I'm not sure. His mother was a super cinnamon EXO-LLB and his father was the butter confusion. And I produced from that clutch 2 cinnamon confusions. One of those cinnamon confusions was definitely more black in coloration, and if you squinted your eyes a little bit and look very, very close, the pattern was a little bit more broken up. And more black coloration and a little bit of a more broken up pattern is a really key sign on EXO-LLB in cinnamon combinations. So that's why I think he is EXO-LLB, but I'm not quite sure. So I wanted to keep one of those animals back for 2 reasons. First of all, I wanted to keep a EXO-LLB male back so I can produce an EXO-LLB without the cinnamon, so I can pair that one back to the original female and make a super EXO-LLB. And also because I really wanted a cinnamon in my confusion line. As you can see, confusion and cinnamon react quite extremely together. The blacks are way more black than confusion can do alone and cinnamon can do alone. It really amplifies, and of course EXO-LLB might be a part of that as well, but the one without EXO-LLB, I think it has EXO-LLB in it, was also very, very black. And in normal sunlight he actually has a little bit of iridescence to it, which is quite difficult to get with ball pythons. You really need extremely dark blacks to be able to do so. If you look very close in the head, I will insert a picture of a close-up on the head. You can see it has a little bit of duck billing, which I think is a little bit weird, because that's normally something Super Cinnamon or 8 balls have, or super black pastels. And A-balls are the combination of cinnamon and black pastel. Right, the superforms or the combinations in the black pastel complex produce that duck billing. So I think, and it is just an idea, and nowhere near to be proven yet, that there might be a chance that that confusion is really in the cinnamon complex. But we will find out in the future, or maybe some of you guys already figured out that is not the case. If that's true, please let me know in the comments. We will have the first clue if that's even a possibility this year, because I've bred him to a pastel female, trying to produce some pewter confusion EXO-LLBs. If he does not produce pewter, that could be chance, right? It could be because of the cinnamon in all the eggs, just wasn't a part of it. Or it could be a clue that this animal can only give or confusion or cinnamon, which will be a great indicator that they actually are allelic. I also really wanted to do that combination because pewter has the ability to really react heavily with weird genes, such as yellow belly. If you add yellow belly in pewter, you can get that very nice blowout on the sides and on the belly. So EXO-LLB and cinnamon do not react at all as heavily as EXO-LLB can do with, for instance, highways. But maybe pewter is a very good substrate for this gene. And because I'm also not 100% sure that this is EXO-LLB, I have two ways of making the exact same animal. I have this way, so this animal paired to a pastel female, and I also have a pastel confusion that I've bred to the super cinnamon EXO-LLB. So I have two possibilities of making either pewter confusions, because I think pewter confusions look very nice and it's a very good use of confusion, but also to check what EXO-LLB can do in that combination. If I've proven out that he's actually EXO-LLB, and the only way I can do that is pairing him to something else that doesn't have cinnamon in it, produce something that unmistakably must be EXO-LLB, hope that is a male, so I can breed that one back to the original cinnamon, super cinnamon EXO-LLB female, to produce a super EXO-LLB. And why do I want to do that? Well, there is a lot to learn about this gene, about the EXO-LLB gene, and not everything is ready for recessive traits yet. And I think EXO-LLB is most definitely one of those genes. It can do remarkable things. We've saw that it can do combinations that hardly make an impact. We've also seen that, and the reaction with cinnamon is one of those. But if we have a super EXO-LLB, the same story as with the super bongo, all the babies that will come from that male or female will have EXO-LLB in it. So you can be sure that there's EXO-LLB in it. And now all you need to do is find the difference between the combination without and the combination that you have. So you can pinpoint the marks of the morph, tell the world about it, how to ID it, and also what the possibilities are on moving forward. So that are the plans for this male. There isn't really a great plan on how to improve this. I think this coloration is quite remarkable. If you put it in hypo, it will be incredible, I think. But that's not the main objective. The main objective about this animal is the EXO-LLB part. And I think that has a lot of work to be done yet, and a lot of it is still uncertain. But that I'm not willing to predict the future doesn't mean that you can't, right? If you had this animal, what would you do? How would you improve this combination? What aspects of this genetics would you would you really build forward to? Would you make sure you get out the EXO-LLB and just move forward with the cinnamon confusion part? Would you swap the cinnamon confusion for black pastel because that's more mainstream? What would you do? Please let me know in the comments below. It will help me out a lot if you leave a comment. Also, if you don't know what you would do, just say hi, or I enjoyed your video, or I really don't enjoy your videos. Anything will help. Please don't say last one, I will cry. Just kidding, just kidding. No, I would. I probably would cry. Please don't do that. Please be nice. So yeah, coming back from that begging round, what would you do? Let me know. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really like to thank you for your time and see you in the next one. Bye.